on?
You are live.
Wonderful. Welcome. Welcome, good friends, our extended Escape Haven family around the world. I'm welcoming you here to our second day of our sleep series. I'm Alicia, and we're coming together this evening for a beautiful yin yoga practice designed to help us slow down from a busy day and come into that space where we can begin to rest and find sleep. So hello to those of you who joined us last night for day one. I'm wondering if maybe you've already noticed some benefits from joining this series. And if you're just tuning in with us today for your first day, don't worry, this is the perfect place to start. So for our yin yoga this evening, just make sure that you have a good selection of cushions with you. Doesn't have to be any fancy yoga equipment, but just have a selection of cushions, maybe some pillows from your bed or some throw cushions from the sofa, anything. Just have a little variety, because in yin yoga we really want to be able to bring the earth up to meet us. And also at the end of the practice, we're actually going to come and do some poses at the wall. So if you're not set up near a wall, maybe just take a moment to move yourself closer there now so that you can join us without having to change your setup at the end of the practice. And just while you're maybe taking a moment to set that up for yourself, I'll remind you that with the practice of yin yoga, we're going to hold the poses for anywhere in between 3 to 5 minutes. And that we really want to be feeling that we can fully surrender and relax in that shape, and that we are able to be there without any stress or holding in the body. So it means that when we come into the shape, we're looking for that soft edge. And particularly if you're working with any tightness or injury in your body, just be mindful that as you hold that pose, it may start to get a little bit more intense. So start at a place where you feel comfortable and able to relax. And of course, if you need to come out of a shape earlier than I guide you, please do that. And take your time coming in and out of the shapes with intention and care. Okay. So hopefully everyone's all ready and we can get going. We're going to come into our first shape now, which is supported rest laying onto the back. So you can clear everything off of your mat. You might want to have a pillow into the backs of your knees, especially if the lower back is feeling tight. But you don't have to. You can also lay flat onto the earth. And come into a position like this, where you can relax into the back of your body and start to slow down. And as with all yin yoga poses, there is no rush. So give yourself time and grace to find a position that feels good for you. And know that, as with all yin yoga poses, we always fit the shape to our body and not the other way around. So if you need to adjust the position or change it to feel better suited for yourself today, again, give yourself that space. Make it feel comfortable and relaxed. So in this position, with the physical eyes closed, start to turn that inward gaze towards the sensations in your body. Perhaps the temperature of the air on your skin. The texture of your clothes. The feeling of your body resting heavy onto your mat. As if you were relaxing into your bones. And allow yourself to feel the rhythm of your breath. Not trying to change or control it in any way. And know that for the next little time, there is nothing that you need to manage or perfect, that there is no need to stretch deeply or achieve anything, that we come here now to give our nervous system a softer place to land. A place to be, exactly as you are. Keeping the body very relaxed. Allow yourself to feel the movement of your breath in your body as we take a last few moments in this shape. And then staying completely relaxed, taking a slightly deeper breath. Exhale, let it all go. And then, if you know that kneeling is not comfortable for you, I invite you to stay laying onto your back. You can either hug the knees in towards your chest, or you can simply place your feet down onto the bolster so that your knees are up into the sky, and then you can let your legs relax. If you feel okay with kneeling, let's bend the knees and roll onto one side of the body now. Let yourself rest on the side of the body for a couple of moments. And then push with your hands down into the floor to bring yourself all the way up to a seat. And we're going to come into child's pose, Balasana. So in this position, we want to kneel, sitting back onto the feet. Have the knees as wide as feels nice for you. And then pad underneath your body. You can use a selection of pillows so that you can come down and feel that the lower back is supported. It might feel nice for you to have the hands forwards, or you can lay them down onto the sides of your bolster. But try not to be holding on to anything, either the cushions or even your other hand, because that's still a holding. In fact, we want to feel that the hands are empty, fingers soft, so that we come into this gesture of surrender. And in this shape, allow yourself to soften your spine. Relax the hips, letting your sit bones spread wide. And observe how the breath moves down into the belly in this shape. Becoming a little slower. A little softer. Soften the hinge of your jaw. Relax your tongue inside your mouth. And relax the roof of your mouth, which is the seat of your brain. And with your physical eyes closed, keep that gaze inwards and feel. So many of us live lives that are busy, arranged around achieving and doing. And we find ourselves leading these lives which are yang, always directed. And in yin yoga, we find a tonic for this. A way to rebalance the intensity of modern life. An opportunity to rest, to slow down, and to be. Feel the support of the bolsters and the cushions beneath you, like a cuddle, a hug. And see if you can do just a little bit less. Become just a little softer. And then feel your breath as we take a last few moments in this shape. No need to rush. When you're ready, take that final deeper breath. Exhaling fully. And then turning maybe the palms of your hands down onto the floor so that you can push yourself slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, all the way back up. And for a moment at the top, pause with your head above your heart and your heart above your hips. Let that energy drop back down into the earth. And then releasing the legs all the way in front of you. And it might feel nice for you to flex the the feet or point the toes, maybe make a few circles. And lean away from your legs with your hands behind you, letting some softness come into the lower back. And when you're ready, we'll start to come into our next shape, butterfly, which is a forward fold, having the soles of the feet together and the knees out wide. Now, we can just hang over our legs here. Let the spine round, shoulders can slump, head can hang. But it might feel nice for you to have something underneath the forehead so that you're not holding in the back of your neck. And in that case, maybe having your cushions over your feet to support your forehead may be more comfortable for you. Don't have your face smushing into your blankets or your pillows, so just for the forehead. And also, if your knees floating out wide feel that they are uncomfortable, suspended in space, just grab something to pop underneath your outer thighs so that your legs have got something to rest onto. And then again, relax your hands. Laying the backs of your hands down onto the earth. Fingers soft. And allow yourself to really sit down heavy into the seat. Giving permission for your inner thighs to soften and relax. Allowing your shoulders to drop away from your ears. And maybe feeling the breath in the back of your heart. And that each time you exhale, you become a little heavier. Your body understands this language of softening. Feel that you are coming home. Returning to this place of peace. Where you belong. So many of us move quickly through the day and then expect ourselves to suddenly stop and sleep. But often the body needs a bridge between the doing and the resting. A time to slow down. A yin yoga practice can be that bridge, moving us breath by breath towards surrender. Feel the breath in your body. As we take a last few breaths in this shape. And when you're ready, again, turning the palms of your hands down onto the earth and slowly pushing yourself all the way back up. And when you land at the top, this time will come all the way down onto the back. And find a moment to rest into your spine. Any position with the arms and the legs is fine. Rest onto your back. And feel the effects of that shape easing into your body. Feel yourself coming back into alignment. And then taking a last breath here at center. We'll bend the legs, rest the feet flat onto the floor. And then make sure that you have some pillows handy. We're going to come into a twist. So take the arms out wide to the sides and just shift your hips over to the right side slightly so that your knees can drop over to the left. And it might be fine for you to do this with no cushions. If there's a bit of lower back sensitivity, a cushion between the knees is often really helpful. And it also may feel good for you to just tuck that left hip down and under your body a little bit more deeply so that your lower back can really relax. If you feel like you're having to hold your top leg in position, then just place some more cushions between your thighs. Or you could even pad underneath both knees if that feels better. And maybe you can turn your head to gaze towards the right side, even though the physical eyes stay closed. Maybe you take a deeper breath into that left shoulder and exhale, let it melt down into the earth. And then complete surrender here. Letting the spine gently unwind. Easing the lower back, the hips, and the thighs. Allow the inner thighs to become soft. And be aware of the space at the back of your heart, resting into the mat. Feel the breath in your body. And moving mindfully when you're ready, bringing the knees back to center, and then your head resting into the back of your heart. Allowing your feet to rest heavy onto the floor. And when you feel like you've come back into your center, just shifting the hips a little bit over to that left side of the mat, so you can let your knees drop over to the right. And coming into that twist on the second side. Turning your head, if that feels okay, through the neck. And again, maybe that deep inhale into your shoulders. Exhale, let them melt down into the earth. The breath moving through the body like waves. Washing away the holding of the day. Feeling the breath in your body as we stay here a last few moments. And when you're ready, finding that final breath, and then rolling yourself gently all the way back onto your spine. Let the feet rest flat onto the earth. And feel the effects of that practice. Rest and receive. when you're ready, taking a final breath at center. And then rolling onto one side of your body, resting onto your side just a moment longer. Let yourself relax. And then pressing the hands down into the floor to push yourself all the way up to a seat. And now we're going to come to the wall. So we're going to bring the cushions with us though, because they might be useful. If you have a towel or something to cover your eyes, feel free to bring it too. And the first shape we'll get into, I'll show you first. We want to make sure that we've got a little bit of space between our hips and the wall so that we can come into this gradually. So it's going to be a hip release with one foot braced on the wall and the other foot crossed onto the opposite knee. And then we can edge ourselves closer until we feel this opening in the hip, and then we just relax here in this space. So when you're ready, lay down close to the wall, remembering to have a little bit of space between your hips and the wall itself. And then we'll place the right foot onto the wall, the sole of the right foot onto the wall, and take the left ankle and place it onto your right knee. Let your left knee drop out wide to the side. Feel the weight of your left leg down into that left hip socket. And then you can start to shuffle your hips closer to the wall until you feel like you found a deep opening in the left hip. And let your arms rest now onto the earth so that the wall is doing the holding for you. The wall is supporting you. Feel the weight of that left hip down into the earth. And let your breath move down into your lower belly. Into your pelvis, your lower back. Until your breath becomes like a massage from the inside out. Softening each time you exhale. Just a few more breaths on this side. Soften just a little more. And when you're ready, find that final breath here. And exhale, release. Taking the left foot and maybe placing both feet onto the floor for a few moments. Ease the hips, ease the lower back. And then you can come in on the second side whenever you feel ready. So this time it's the sole of the left foot that rests flat onto the wall. The right ankle rests onto the left knee. Let the right knee be wide. And again, feel the weight of that right leg bone all the way down into your hip. And then you can shuffle your hips closer to the wall, as close as you like, until you feel that deep stretch in your right hip. And again, allow the wall to support you, removing effort. So that you can be heavy, relaxed. Our hips often carry the residue of rushing, of holding and carrying. Here we let gravity loosen that effort. So that we can drift just that little closer to sleep. Again, feeling the breath in your body and finding that final breath in this shape. And then carefully removing that right ankle. Again, you can rest both feet flat to the floor if you like first, or you can come straight into our next shape. You can stay exactly where you are. And this time we take both legs straight up the wall. And again, you might want to have some space between your hips and the wall, or you might want to get really close to the wall. Feel what feels best for you, for your lower back, for your hips. And with your cushions handy, it might feel nice for you to place a cushion underneath your lower back, elevating your hips just slightly. And if you feel that your legs would like to be grounded, it might be nice to place a heavier pillow actually onto your feet, so it's balancing on the top of the soles of your feet, holding your feet and your legs down into position. And again, let the hands rest out wide to the sides. Viparita Karani, legs up the wall. This gentle inversion. At Escape Haven, we don't teach women how to sleep. Your bodies already know this. But we do teach how to rest, how to restore. Finding rituals and rhythms that help us to feel safe so that we can soften again. To find sleep that is nourishing rather than just collapsing into bed at the end of a busy day. And finding the practices that give this steady rhythm, a reminder to honor ourselves, by giving ourselves the gift of rest. Of peace. Feel your breath in your body. Finding your final breath in this shape. And when you're ready, bending your knees and rolling onto one side of your body so that you can rest and let the effects of that practice ease into your body. And when you're ready, we're coming back into supported rest, Shavasana, where we began the class. So you can either just scooch back from the wall or maybe turn around. Maybe a pillow into the backs of the knees. Maybe something over the eyes. Bringing yourself back into that position where you can fully surrender. Maybe tucking the shoulders into the back of your heart. Maybe widening the feet. Relaxing the muscles of your face. The hinge of your jaw. Allowing the forehead to become smooth and wide. Feeling all the tiny muscles underneath your hair loosen on your scalp. Feeling the spine soft, spacious, and your heels resting heavy. If you would like to stay longer, resting in this space, take your time and stay here as long as you need. When you're ready to finish your yoga, just bring yourself out slowly, bringing some movement back into the fingers and toes, feeling the breath in your body, and taking any other movements that feel nice as you slowly come back into yourself. And when you're ready, you can bend the knees, roll onto the side of your body, and rest there a few moments before bringing yourself all the way up to a comfortable seat. Take your time. And I hope that you are feeling just a little more soft, a little more safe, a little more ready for sleep. And I thank you for being here with me this evening. Namaste. So my friends, thank you for joining me tonight. And I hope that you'll be back tomorrow 5:30 with our wonderful Frankie. We have a practice of yoga nidra, or yogic sleep, which is a deep meditation for extreme restorative wellness and ease. Thank you.